I do, and that would be mammal. Okay. Then you have mammals. Mammals are another column. So you have vertebrate, and after that you goes into mammals. And you can have vertebrates that don't have to be mammals, but and after mammals you have a living. For example, I don't know how much columns I just skip right now, but after that you have live birth, right? That's another column. So vertebrate, mammal, live birth. Three. There is more, but for this example, those three, and it's like
No, let's zoom in. We don't have to go.
if you have a sorry, what?
We don't have to start at mammal. We could start lower. We could start lower in the chain. Or you want to start at mammal? Because you're starting at vertebrate.
Depends when you start.
All right, just keep going. Keep going.
I started with vertebrate. Every vertebrate is a mammal,
Right.
but
I mean, you could look it
look,
up.
I don't even claim I'm sober. I don't even claim I know precisely what I'm doing. But you need to look on the columns in the right way, and that is that first of all we are based on oxygen. We breathe oxygen, so uh, you start on the basic principles and you go into the point that certain things works in certain way. So first of all, you are a vertebrate. That basically means you have a spine. You are not insect or plant, right?
Right.
Okay. We have that. That's our first column. Our second column would be the way how we actually reproduce. Definitely enough, that go to the egg-laying things and live birth, right? Because, for example, snakes or birds still vertebrates, but a different way of reproduction. So far, do you follow? Right?
Yeah. Snakes and birds. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We exclude those. They are actually, and you need to understand that every time we get to the differentiation of strata, you get like there are other animals and other living organisms on this planet that actually follows the other way than we do, but we followed way to us, right? So, first of all, vertebrate. Second of all, live birth. I skipped several points like eggs and yada yada yada. You can go there. You can watch it for yourself on YouTube. Actually, I think the great thing for you could be Aaron Ra's strata point of view. Doesn't matter if you like the guy or not, but he actually speak about this in great detail in videos that have like 15 minutes for just very simple thing. But the point is, you get to the point of live birth. That also means that you lactate, you are speciated in the point that you actually have roughly two sexes, like if nothing doesn't get fucked up. We don't talk about psychology yet because that would be a different problem. We could talk about the problem of understanding and cultural things, but no. Point is that you get a live birth. Live birth means that you have to carry your offspring in your belly, and that means that you have like the structure of theoretically, I would say maybe family, but no, not exactly. But you have the point that the females are actually kind of dependent through their pregnancy on the males, and to the point that they cannot like hunt that well in that time, and you get to the point that because of our child are actually extremely, how to say this, time consuming because of the development of the brain. Uh, we get to the point that our pregnancy is extremely long. We get to the point that uh, the time when our offspring is actually independent on us is also extremely long. It takes several years, which means several seasons, which is absolutely unhealthy and unviable for other animals. Uh, that's crazy, Like, look, for example, for a deer, they can have like two offsprings in a year. Cat can have three. And they can be adult before the next winter comes on. So now we have to take about our child for extremely long time, and we have to survive the situation that actually the spin of this rock actually gives us, and that means that we actually have to like send our information to other generation. We need to take care for the children at least for 10 years. It's astronomical number from a point of the view of the animal, because that's longer than most of the small animals actually live. Look on the mice. How long they live? Like 3 years, if they are lucky. And we don't even talking about the point that somebody else eating them. We're talking about the point where they get genetic disease and stuff like that. So it's incredible long time for our offspring to even get like lucky enough to survive to adulthood, which is like at least 10 years of taking care of them.
Wait, for
And
humans?
how you
What's up,
want to do
Jason?
this?
What's up, Gandalf? What's up, Common?
Hey, how you getting on?
Oh, by the way, hello Gandalf, long time no see.
Fucking Europeans, stop trying to meet in my fucking this
Yeah,
fucking room.
good to see you.
Yeah. What's going on, Gandalf? We're talking about classification, right? So basically, I'm being educated on like how like humans we're genetically so close, right? We're genetically the same for the most part. And I'm being
Yeah.
educated on like yeah, so I'm trying to follow, right? But we're just being educated on like how like other living things are going to have great that we see today have greater variations in genetic diversity depending on how we group them, right? So, for example, bears, like two polar bears are going to be more closely related genetically, are going to have a smaller genetic pool than two humans. But a polar bear and a grizzly bear, the genetic pool is going to be bigger, right? And we're trying to point out by morphological differences doesn't necessarily mean you could group people together. The genetic differences, obviously, because right, even though you have two humans,
I'm actually not sure. Sorry. No, I'm actually not sure if you understand that correctly, because we say that the difference between them is bigger, but that doesn't mean like there are bigger differences. The point is that those are two small groups. They are in different places, but doesn't mean like they are. How to say this and not confuse you anymore?
well, let me say this.
Polar bears and grizzly bears have a different genetic pools, but
You know what?
their genetic variation is something.
Well, I think what's really cool
Oh,
is that
okay, that would be for long and too difficult. Sorry, guys. I apologize myself. That
Well,
was a
that's-
small thing to bring up.
Okay.
Yeah, but like even though there might be morphological differences, the genetic differences, like they don't correlate. Morphological and genetic differences don't correlate. right? More or less, right? So you'll want to group people by their genetics. You want to, if there's any grouping, it's by genetics more than morphology. Or yeah, VM or just VM right now. I'm hearing you guys like silent, so it's like yeah, it's like I think
I'm playing a
conversation
game.
we're having. It's like you guys aren't getting through to me, but like I'm seeing because
No. Okay, so real quick, I think a real easy way of looking at it is this. There is no, humans can all breed with each other. There is no type of human that can't breed with another type of human. You see what I'm saying?
no, but
That said, what we're seeing, well, listen, what we're seeing
Yeah,
now, like,
Jason, I said that more than an hour ago.
oh
But
shit.
you can try.
no.
But okay, so like,
But
why can't I talk?
Delivery guy, stop and let Jason fucking talk.
All right.
Sorry, I think about what I say. I don't just rattle off.
He's been sitting back listening. Let him into the conversation.
All right, go ahead, Jason.
So, and please don't see this as like a flex, but just please trust me that I've like done a lot of school and a lot of work in the things I'm talking about. Just please trust me that I might know a little bit. So what we're seeing now, there's certain breeds of dogs that like can't even breed with each other now because the genetic variation amongst canine is starting to really almost speciate in a sense. So we can have things like different types of bears that can't breed. Look at mules, look at donkeys and horses. You know what I mean? And donkeys and mules and horses and mules. Like they're close, but some of them can't breed, some of them can breed, and some of them can breed, but then their offspring is going to be sterile. That's where you're starting to see things like speciation, genetic differences. We also, in the labs that I worked at UTMB out here in Houston, we had one lab that, a lot of them were evolution-based labs, but one of them was a bacteria that we were studying that was causing a lot of problems to like blast wound victims in Afghanistan. And because it was evolving just so quickly that we were just chasing it and trying to develop an antibiotic for it and different ways of introducing it and yada yada. So like this stuff is almost mundane in a sense. Now, individual differences versus group differences, we can talk about that, and that's interesting. But the difficulty with humans is like all of us right now talking are so genetically similar that it's almost impossible to tell us apart without a lot of technology. Like, you know what I mean? But it's the individual differences that like I'm O positive, right? There's other people who aren't. So, okay. So now let's say random's O negative, right? We have differences now.
Yeah, actually.
Isn't that interesting? So it's you and I are the most sought after. I'm a donor. I have to for my platelets. But that said, like that's our individual difference. But everything else is damn near the same. But the problem is that our individual difference, let's say our blood types weren't compatible, we couldn't be transplant donors for each other, right? But that doesn't make us like any like we're still 99.98% the fucking same. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. I think.
Just on the.
Go ahead.
I was only going to say because people were sharing blood types to the crack. I may be negative, which is kind of pretty rare.
That's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah, and by the way, Jason,
Take your blood out of my fucking body, you fucking